Welcome to this video tutorial on the Zoom H1 audio recorder. We're going to give you a brief overview on how the recorder works, some of the settings, and best practices for using the recorder. The H1, along with a recorder made by Tascam called the DR05, are probably the two least expensive audio recorders you can buy that offer the professional features you need to record good audio. The Zoom H1 is available at MediaTek, so students can sign those out. So that's why this tutorial will be specific to the Zoom. This video will be just a quick overview of the features, how to set up the Zoom, and what best practices are for using the recorder. There's also a PDF available on the website with some of the settings, so if you need something to review, you're welcome to download that as well. You can buy both the Zoom H1 and the Tascam DR05 for about $100, usually around $99 online. You'll also need to make sure you have a USB cord for either unit so you can download the audio. You can buy that cord separately. You can also get both recorders as a kit that will often include a USB cable and some other accessories. Those usually go for about $130. As I said, you can also sign out the Zoom as a kit from MediaTek. Comes with a USB cord, comes with headphones, which are very important, comes with this cute little fuzzy cover that helps block out some wind noise if you're doing any interviews outside or gathering sound outside. Headphones. So it's important that you wear them. I know that people feel goofy with them on, but it's really important that you hear the audio that you're recording. It will allow you to hear any strange sounds that you weren't aware of. The buzz of a fluorescent light or the hum of a refrigerator or the radio's on, but it will also let you hear any technical problems. If the recorder's not working properly or if there's maybe a short in a cord or something, you won't know it unless you're listening as you record. So please make sure you're wearing headphones anytime you're recording audio. The Zoom is pretty simple to use. There's just a few buttons to go through, but we'll go through those and get you up and running. If you look at the recorder on the very front, there's just a big button with a red dot. That's the record button. And there's a screen that displays settings, and we'll go over those in just a minute. If you look on the left-hand side of the recorder, there's a jack for your headphones and a volume control. So this controls the volume that you hear, not the volume that you're recording, but you would adjust that to your headphones. Flip to the back of the recorder. You'll see that there's three sliders, three settings that we can set. Luckily, we're going to keep this really simple. We're going to push them all to the left. The low cut filter we're going to turn off. We can control filters and adjustments to our audio when we do the editing, so we don't need to do that on the recorder. We're going to turn audio levels off because we want to control those manually, so we have control of our audio. And for recording format, we want to be in WAV, which is an uncompressed, high-quality audio file. The back of the recorder is also where we place the battery. The Zoom H1 uses a single AA battery. It's just a good idea to put a fresh battery in every time you start. The battery wears out. If it dies in the middle of recording, you'll probably lose what you're doing. So a long interview, you notice the battery is starting to go, pause, switch the battery, start up again. All right, so if we flip around to the other side, to the right-hand side of the unit, this is where most of the controls are. You'll see starting on the left, there's the USB plug. We'll use that later to download our audio files. We have the on-off switch. You simply slide that little slider to the left, and if you watch the front of the screen, you'll see that the unit even says hello to you. You release the switch and the unit starts up. The trash can icon is used to delete files. You can play back your audio to make sure it's working properly using the play, the forward, and the back. There's also some other settings we'll control from there. As you move along to the right-hand side of the side of the unit, the input level is where we'll adjust the recording levels, and we'll do that in just a moment. And then there's a plug there if we want to plug in an external microphone. You could add a wireless mic or a handheld mic for even better audio quality. So we have one more setting adjustment to make before we begin recording. Once you've turned the unit on, if you look on the front of the screen, you'll see a number of things. You'll see on the left-hand side audio levels, and if you make some noise, you'll see that they bounce around. We'll adjust those in just a second. You'll see a time of how much recording is left on the unit, and above that, you'll see settings of the quality of the audio file and it'll be something kilohertz / bits. And we want to change that to a setting that's compatible with any video we might shoot. So if we did decide to use this audio with other kinds of audio, we'd hope that it would all be of the same file type. So if on the side of the unit you press either the forward or reverse buttons, you'll see that on the front screen those settings change. And you can scroll through different settings, 9624, 4416, 4424, etc. We want to get this set to 4816. 48 kilohertz is consistent with most video cameras, and 16-bit is very high quality and good enough for any of the audio that we'd be doing. So before we get too deep into our sound recording, we want to adjust our levels properly. Press the record button, and then if this is an interview situation, ask your subject some basic kinds of questions just to get them talking so you can adjust your audio. To adjust your audio, go back to the side of the device to where it says input level and use those two switches, the plus or the minus, to either raise or lower the bars of the view meter on the left. And the goal is to record at a range somewhere between -12 and -6 decibels. You don't want to record too high a level because that will distort the sound, and that can't be fixed. If your sound is what's often called overmodulated, there's no way to fix that in the editing process. On the other hand, if you record too low, you then have to boost that when you go in to edit it, and raising that creates some audio problems. You'll get some hiss, you'll get some just poor quality audio. So it's sort of the Goldilocks thing. We want our sound levels just right, not too hot, not too cold. So we're going to use those buttons to raise the audio, and we want to get our audio up to about that somewhere between -12 and -6. You'll see as you press the plus or minus buttons that the level indicator changes, and it has a scale of between 0 and 100. Those numbers are really irrelevant. It's going to be different depending what we're recording. What you want to watch are the levels on the left. You really want to get those, and they're going to bounce, but you want them to bounce around the -6 to -12 place. So once you get those set, you're good to go. If you change subjects, if you interview someone different, if the sound of the room changes, you want to keep an eye on those levels and make sure that they're staying in the proper place. So that's an overview of the Zoom H1 audio recorder and its basic functions. Thanks for taking the time to look at the video, and I hope it was useful. If you have any questions, please let us know.